Yo, what's up world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and in today's video we're going to talk about the very first week of the XFL season. We're going to talk about some of the rule changes that are different from the NFL. We're going to talk about what players that stood out to me, what players I'm going to keep my eye on, what team am I going to keep my eye on, and all that we're going to talk about in this video today. So without further ado, let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little prouder.
So the first thing that I want to touch on is the new kickoff rule. The kickoff rule, to me, I think brings a level of excitement back to the kickoff versus when the NFL, you see 90 to 95% of the kickoffs are touchbacks. And who wants to see that at the end of the day? So the new XFL kickoff rules are like this. The team that is kicking the ball must kick the ball beyond the 20-yard line, and the players are lined up at the 30 and 35-yard line respectively. And if the kick does not get past the 20-yard line, it is an illegal procedure penalty similar to the NFL. But instead of starting at the 35-yard line, you're starting an opponent's territory at the 45-yard line. That is a huge field position. That's huge in field position. And not only that, you have to get past the 20, and the teams cannot move until the player that is receiving the kick has full possession of the football. So that kind of eliminates that further downfield contact that you see within the NFL kickoff. Well, not much of it because it's touchbacks, but that eliminates that, and you're literally starting right there, right next to the kickoff. That brings a lot of excitement to it. It brings that element of watching the kickoff excitement, because in NFL, you really don't watch the kickoffs. Most teams start from the 25-yard line regardless, and even if they do decide to take the ball out of the end zone, you're taking it from 9 times out of 10 from the 6-7 yards deep area in the end zone, and you're not probably going to make it past the 25 anyway, so why even do it most of the time? And the new XFL kickoff brings a lot more excitement back to the kickoff. And another thing that I wanted to touch on is the extra point rule. There are no more kickers kicking extra point. You have 3 point opportunities from 3 different spots. You have the 1 point opportunity from the regular NFL 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line. You have the 2-point spot, which is the 5-yard conversion, and you have the 3-point conversion from the 10-yard line. So no lead is really safe. It also brings back a lot of strategic aspects to the game. Which point are you going to go for? What situation are you in, and what point is going to bring you back into the game? What point is going to bring you closer and score? It brings more of that strategic aspect to the game, and teams have to earn whatever point that they have because there is no kicks. There's no really give me kicks, so you have that opportunity to really stop the other team from getting that extra point. If you're the offense, you have that chance to bring yourself back into the game by making those 2 to 3 point conversions. So it brings more excitement to the after touchdown. That is another aspect of the XFL that really stands out that I like personally. It is really fun. Now the presentation of the game is also very exciting. Number one, because we have no Joe Buck and we have no Troy Aikman. If you guys follow me on Twitter and Instagram, handles APW Sports below, it is damn boring listening to announcers that do not bring that excitement to the game, as said a Kevin Harlan, a Gus Johnson. Announcers like that, you have very good announcers that's doing the XFL games with Joel Klatt. And my personal favorite soundbite to hear is Pat McAfee. He brought a lot of excitement to watching that game. Even to the punting game when Marquette King had that punt where he damn near had the perfect punt if it wasn't for his teammate touching the ball. He brought a lot of excitement, a lot of joy to your TV set. When you're watching these games, it is a very excitable watch. And the thing that makes it more exciting, because you do not have those long stretches in between plays where nothing is happening. It is a very fast-paced game. Not only does the quarterback have a headset, the entire team has a headset so they can get those communications from the coaches, which makes the play go by a lot quicker. All the players on the field are getting the play call from the coach, and they don't have to hear it directly from the quarterback, who in the NFL, he's the only one getting those calls. That makes it a lot quicker of a game to watch, because usually in between plays of an NFL game, you're probably going to the bathroom, probably going to the kitchen or something, just to give yourself a snack or something, just to watch the game. In the XFL, it is a very, very fast-paced game, and I do really like that aspect of the game being very, very fast. So that makes the XFL game a great watch. And you have a lot of players that had former NFL experience, so you're getting a good quality of football. That's necessarily the top athletes, but we are not looking for that in this league. This league brings you players that are going to play hard, they're going to play fast. It is a very, very fast-paced game. It's a very, very fun game to watch. And the XFL did an excellent job, in my opinion, of number one, taking that time versus the AAF, which it was very, I think, rushed into it. The XFL, to me, I think is a league that is trying to stand out on its own versus being a minor league to the NFL like the AAF was intending to be. And I think that is kind of where they hurt themselves versus trying to stand out on their own. They were trying to be the minor league of the NFL, and I don't think that was the best way to go about it. The XFL did a great job of promoting the game, and you have the game on multitude of different networks. You have it on ESPN, you have it on ABC, you have it on Fox. So you have more than just CBS that the AAA have covering the game. You have it on different multitudes of networks, so you give multiple networks access to the game. You give multiple different fan bases access to the game versus just the one CBS network. You have it on a multitude of networks. You've promoted the game right. You've promoted the rules. You promoted the players. You've promoted the draft, even though the draft wasn't necessarily the best ran thing. I still think the XFL did a better job than it did the first time of really promoting the game and having it stick more to football versus the first time around, which I think was kind of more of a kind of football version of the WWE, in my opinion, with all the nicknames on the back and the really wrestling for the football to see who gets first possession. I'm glad they did away with that. So I think it's more football based than the very first time around for Vince McMahon and the XFL. It's football based, and I think that was where he needed to be. Football based, because let's keep it honest, the extreme version of the WWE, it just wasn't great the first time around. You had a lot of blackouts. The network wasn't necessarily that great of really promoting and really just making the game an excitable, presentative watch. And I think that this time around, Vince McMahon learned his lessons, and he really more stuck to the football side of it, making it its own kind of standout thing versus just a minor league to the NFL. So it has its own set of rules, its own set of standards, his own gameplay. So at the end of the day, the XFL, to me, it was a very, very fun watch. The game was very, very fast paced, so it was a lot quicker. And I like the XFL. I hope that they keep this going in week 2. Because as you see with things, the very first episode is where you're going to get most views, where you're going to get most people watching, because of the build-up and the anticipation of what's to come from that very first episode, very first show. So the very first thing is always going to be the most sought after for fans to see what really it is. But I think this week is going to really, really test where fans and the viewing public like myself and you guys really stand at. It's really going to test how this league can succeed and if it can succeed going forward. And also the ticket sales outsold the AAF, and that was a lot to do with the promotion of the game, because Vince McMahon has experience in promoting things with the WWE, and he kind of stuck it to football, like I said, and he brought it over to the XFL, and he promoted the game very, very well, and he had 2 years to really get it all together, get the budget going, get the players, get everything right for this league to really be a success. But I will be tuning in week 2. I hope you guys will be tuning in. I hope that this league has success, because at the end of the day, for football junkies like myself, I really hope that this league succeeds so we can have more football to watch outside of the NFL. And I want to talk about players that stood out to me. Number 1 was P.J. Walker. This guy played excellent football. I like the excitement that he brought for, number 1, his mobile ability, moving around in the pocket, and ability to throw on the run. And he played a very, very, very solid game, and he was a very, very exciting to watch. I like his game. He has an arm, he has talent, and he was one of the more heralded names that I was hearing of going into the XFL season. And he did not disappoint after week 1 in throwing for 238 yards and 4 touchdown passes in his first game. And the number 2 player that stands out for me, you guys are gonna say, you're biased of this. Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The number 2 player that I'm watching for is a bias, kind of a homer pick to me, and that is 12 gauge himself, Cardale Jones, former national championship winning quarterback of the Ohio State University and the starting quarterback of the DC Destroyers. He did not get the chance that I think he should have gotten in the NFL. Even with the Buffalo Bills, they weren't that great at quarterback before Josh Allen came into town. They still did not give Cardale Jones that shot, and with him going to the Chargers, of course he wasn't going to play because of Phillip Rivers being there. So I'm glad he is finally getting that opportunity to be a starting professional quarterback. And you guys know how much I love Ohio State, so I'm going to be watching him from snap 1 to snap forever because, number 1, I love my Ohio State guys, and 2, he should have gotten that chance. And I think him in his first game throwing 2 TD passes, I think he's going to be one of the standout players in this league. He is a very, very talented guy. He's big, strong. He has some mobility. He has a very, very good arm and a very accurate arm. So that is another player that's going to stand out to me. So the team I'm going to be rooting for, of course, is those DC Destroyers, because I want to see my guy Cardale, 12 gauge, do his thing. And they looked very, very good coming out of week 1. So for me, the DC Destroyers is the team that I'm going to look out for. The XFL in week 2, I hope it's very exciting. It should be very exciting. I just hope it can capitalize off the momentum that they had the first week in. And guys, it is just so excellent to have some more football to watch versus going back and watching clips of the NFL season. You have very live football to watch. It's more football. And I can't be any happier about just having more football to watch. So you guys be sure to like, comment, and share and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel to grow. And I do read my comment section, guys. I read my comment section. So leave your thoughts down below as to what did you think of the XFL? What stands out for you? What do you like? What do you not like? I really would love to have that conversation in the comment section. So leave your comments down below and follow me Twitter and Instagram, both APW Sports, and both will be linked in the description below. That's all I got. Make sure you guys have a great and excellent day, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.